Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, April 20th, 2025. Happy Easter, everybody. And if this drive looks familiar, yes, it's pretty much a repeat of the not-so-great video I posted last night. We are passing through Lehighton, Pennsylvania on 309 South. Yes, that's the designation here, even though we are heading north. And as I come down into the downtown area here, we're looking towards Broad Mountain. There's a brush fire that started burning yesterday afternoon that's become quite concerning to everybody in the area. As of now, it is not threatening any structures. Nobody has been injured or worse. However, I'm told it is inching its way towards Jim Thorpe, which is obviously not a good thing. It's 8:13 in the morning as I speak this. I am heading into Jim Thorpe to be ticket agent today for the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. Yes, we are open on Easter, and I'd say come out and ride, but by the time I get home and post this, our day will obviously already be done, but hopefully some of you will make it out there anyway. So last night when I got news about this fire, I did take a ride to see what was going on. Curiosity just got the best of me, and kind of like the brush fire on Blue Mountain last fall, the local news, they've not done a great job of covering it. You know, you get a short story on it with the designation of this is a developing story, and then, the developments are slow to come, and they usually lag behind reality, and in some cases are not even accurate. Last night, WFMZ reported that the fire started near the Jim Thorpe Market. It did not. The first responders were using the parking lot of the Jim Thorpe Market as a staging area. The fire was on the other side of the mountain. However, they were using that area because there's an access road to where the fire is. So now we're coming in. This is the Packerton Rail Yard. We did move some of our tanker cars that were stored. They went further up into the Narrows. We did have a crew move those cars up to Glenanoco, or really just a little bit south of Glenanoco on the Coalport Bridge. They did move those last night, so they are out of harm's way. The smoke does not look as bad this morning, which I take as an encouraging sign, despite having somebody tell me that the fire did move closer to town. The concern, of course, when you get the high winds like we've been getting, we had high winds and we've got drought conditions going back to last summer. It doesn't take much for fire to jump over the mountain or even jump over the Lehigh River. I know they are closely monitoring the situation. I don't feel unsafe going to work, but it's something that obviously we'll keep an eye on the developments. In this corner here, as I call it, this curve, where you see off to the right that bigger plume of smoke, that's one line of the fire there. There's really two lines. It seems like it started somewhere in the middle and spread both ways. Somewhere down there is the rail bridge that Reading and Northern Railroad shares with Norfolk Southern, and as far as I know, that is unaffected so far. Up here to the right, this is the second plume of fire. Looks like it's moved a little bit, but to be honest, not. You can see actually, camera's probably not picking it up, but I'm seeing some flames about a third of the way up from the bottom. To be perfectly honest, it actually looks better than it did yesterday. It's not as close to town as I thought it might be. So the other good news today, the winds have shifted direction and should be blowing that away from Jim Thorpe. So I think as long as that continues to be the case, we're going to be just fine. I just hope we don't get a situation where we're breathing in the smoky air all day. That's not something that any of us enjoy, and I find it particularly disagreeable. But I gotta be honest, guys, as of right now, that's actually looking, better than I expected. So There's been very little news from the official news outlets, and really all I heard was that they expected to continue fighting that fire all day today. They have had a helicopter scooping water out of the river and dropping it on the flames. They said they're able to make a drop every 8 minutes, so that's really good. It's great to have the Lehigh River right here for that. And they've also had a small plane dropping that red fire retardant. Don't know a whole lot about that stuff, but you do see it with the aerial firefighting efforts. So, you know, I know they're going to be on top of this all day, guys. You can see I'm in downtown Jim Thorpe now. I'll say right now, I'm optimistic for a good day. The air looks pretty clean here. I do think the wind is blowing it the other way. And we're running 3 Easter Bunny trains today. Obviously, today's the last day for the Easter Bunny trips. There's the ticket booth. That's going to be my home for the day. And pulling into the parking lot here now. So, needless to say, I got to get going. Got to wrap this video up. Real quick, I do have a lot of train videos filmed, but not edited, and by a lot, I do mean about 3 dozen. I have not forgotten about editing them, but guys, I am hardly home to ever really sit down and do it. And I filmed some really good stuff, and unfortunately, a lot of them are just long and difficult edits, which is actually a good thing because it means I've got some really neat content. But it takes a lot longer to edit some of those videos than it does a train chase. That's why I was able to pop that RDC chase up so quickly. The chase videos, honestly, they're the real easy edits. So I don't have a lot of those, but I do have a lot of other cool stuff. The next couple weeks, really month and a half of my life is beyond insanely busy. So it's probably going to be slow going for a bit, but rest assured, guys, I've not forgotten about you. I've not forgotten about the videos. This video will be a super quick and easy edit because basically I'm not editing it. I'm just taking the files off the drive cam, clipping off the space I don't need at the beginning and end of it, and publishing it. So anyway, you can see I'm at work. It's 8:20. I've got to be on duty by 8:30. I've talked enough. Last thing I want to say is thank you very much to the firefighters and the first responders who are taking care of this fire situation. Thank you for all your efforts, especially the fact that you're giving up your Easter holiday to do this. And thank you. Everybody stay safe. Have a happy, healthy, and safe Easter Sunday. Alright guys, it is now Sunday afternoon, Easter Sunday, and even though things haven't seemed too bad in town, everybody is saying that the fire is moving closer. Now I think what they mean, I'll be able to tell you in just a second here, is around the curve on 209, and I believe that is correct. It sounds like it's crossing the ridge. Oh, that is getting closer to here. Let me turn. I don't know how well this is going to do, guys. I didn't take my action camera with me today, given that I'm working. Okay, this is bad. This is what they were talking about. It is moving much closer to town. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised because the wind's been going the other way. You can see some red streaks there. That's the airplanes that have been dumping the fire retardant. So that's concerning. That is getting closer to town. And there are homes in East Jim Thorpe on the other side of the ridge. The one parking lot attendant told me that it is getting closer to those homes. Now firemen are in position with the fire trucks in the neighborhoods, and I'm sure they are going to do everything they need to do to keep those homes safe. Really hoping for the best for those people. Down in the curve here, it is looking better at least. Well, it's looking better for a stretch. Now I just see this up here. So the edges of the fire have definitely spread. And I'm trying to understand what I'm seeing up ahead off to my left. It looks like maybe the start of a new fire on the other side of that ridge. Now, when I left Jim Thorpe, there were rumors that 209 was closed. As you can see, I'm moving freely on 209. 209 is not closed. Apparently that information was on social media, but that information is incorrect, at least as of 3:25 p.m. This is obviously a constantly changing situation. Now I'm going to be working out of my sign shop in Nesquehoning the next 5 days. Obviously, I'm going to have to keep up on this situation. If I have to take an alternate way to work, I can go up and over through Summit Hill, down to Lansford, and down into Nesquehoning that way. But this is just sad, guys. You know, apparently it's burning on a lot of the D&L trail. I did hear during my lunch break that the observation platform was in danger of burning, but once again, they did have firemen stationed to try to save it. I don't know the status of that right now. So, climbing up above the Packerton yard here. Hopefully the camera's picking this stuff up okay. That's pretty much going to be all for today's update. I don't really have, well, hold on, is this another fire here or just smoke that blew? Hard to say. I'm seeing more smoke to my left as I go through Packerton, but I don't know if that is a different fire or just smoke that drifted. Anyway, that's really all I have for you today, guys. I wish it was better news. It was looking more promising this morning, but by all accounts, on the other side of the ridge, it's getting worse. I really hope it doesn't come into the town of Jim Thorpe. They are closing the parking lot, some of the parking lot by the train station. It will not affect the public parking. It will affect employee and resident parking. So it's just worrying, guys. You know, I love the railroad. I love the station. I would be beyond heartbroken if anything happened. But let's just hope everybody's safe. Let's hope all the town and the buildings are safe. I'm going to let you go now. I hope everybody is having a good Easter Sunday. I hope you're having a safe, happy, and healthy holiday. And I'm going to just make my way home carefully now, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the tracks.